Welcome to the Evening Quail. This episode is brought to you by your local Denari Are Us. Are you finding it difficult to carry all of your sacrificial animals to Jerusalem? Need to exchange those Roman coins with treacherous graven images on them? Don't fret. Just get down to Denari Are Us, where you can find all of your festival fulfillments. While you're there, check out their spectacular line of apparel, including 4 tasseled cloaks. No, that's cloaks with 4 tassels. They have more than 4 cloaks. It's just each of the cloaks has 4 tassels on them. Read the Old Testament. You'll figure it out. Anyway, men's cloaks now come in 5 handsome colors. 5. Brown, light brown, tan, light tan, and khaki. Denari Are Us is the official outfitter of the Simeon Salamanders baseball team. What is your tribe wearing? When it comes to any of your currency or clothing needs, you can trust Denari Are Us. They'll help you get your foot in the door of the temple. Well, it was a bit of a struggle to get this out to you. I am so sorry this didn't come out a week ago when it was supposed to. I recorded the entire episode, edited it and everything, and when I went to save it, it got messed up. The whole thing was lost. So maybe I will find it somewhere and we will have a lost episode. Actually, it will be very similar to this episode, just I'm re-recording it. And as the week progressed, there were other things that had to take priority. I just wasn't able to get it out there. So if you were really offended that there wasn't a weekly podcast, I apologize. I'll just trust you to trust that I am doing my best. Okay, well, anyway, that's enough about that. Theodore Thuttit is back. He had a great vacation last week. The week before last, really, in Frogtown. But he's back. He is here to share you yet another song. This one is a cappella, so hope you like that kind of thing. And it is called Hippopotamuses. It's something about hippopotamuses. I'm not really sure if that's the song title or if that's just his note. His note to me, it's kind of hard to read his handwriting sometimes. Just being honest. Sorry, Theodore. Anyway, here he is with his new song about hippopotamuses.
Hey, I'm Theodore Thuttit, and I got a song. Hippos could really hurt someone. It's something I heard somewhere. Hippos could really hurt someone. Don't you even care? Hippos could really hurt someone. It's something I heard somewhere. Hippos, they could really hurt someone. Don't you even care? That's the end of the song, just so you know. See you later.
Okay, thank you, Theodore. There's just something about his voice. It just really resonates with me. Okay, time now for important things you should know about.
Important things you should know about.
Did you know that an ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain?
Important things you should know about.
All right, today we are looking at the story of Jesus clearing the temple, as told by the Apostle John. When we read this story, the disciples are said to have remembered passage of Scripture, Psalm 69. It says, "Zeal for your house will consume me." In the World English Bible, it says, "Zeal for your house will eat me up." What that means is enthusiasm. I'm so enthusiastic over my Father's house that it's consuming, it's overwhelming. I'm obsessed with it. So when Jesus is doing this, he is so he is so consumed with enthusiasm for his Father's house that this is why he is doing this. Now, in that same story, Jesus indicates that he is a temple. There's a hint here that Jesus is the new temple. He is the new primary earthly residence of God. He is now where God's glory is manifest on the earth. He is the new tabernacle, which really makes sense as you look back at John chapter 1, verse 14. It literally says in the Greek that the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us. I know I didn't just read it in Greek, but that's what it literally means in Greek. The Word became flesh and tabernacled among us. So there's a few things going on in this story. The Gentile courtyard is where all of these tables would have been set up for people who couldn't bring their animals that long way. There was an acceptable way to make exchanges in Jerusalem with money, with smaller animals, different things like that. They also needed to get rid of the Roman coins with the images of the emperors on them because those were seen as idolatrous. But what's happened is this has so much taken up the temple courts that Jesus is really upset about this. This is the Gentile court. This is where people that aren't a part of the Jewish community were able to come and learn about God and worship him in a way. And this is occupied by all of these ways of making money. It's getting in the way. And the other thing that is assumed from this is that there were the exchangers were charging exorbitant rates. They were taking advantage of people who were desperate to be able to give their offering. So how I see this is that Jesus is coming into this scene and he is saying, look, all of this stuff is just getting in the way of worship. All of this stuff is getting between you and the God that loves you, that wants to know you. It's getting between the Gentiles, the non-Jews, and the God that wants to know them. And you'll see in the story of Jesus and those that came after him in the early church that now the doors were being opened wide to the Gentiles for them to enjoy being a part of the people of God just as much as the Jews were. Now, I mentioned earlier that Psalm 69 is quoted here, that the apostles are remembering that Psalm 69 says, "Zeal for your house will consume me." I encourage you tonight in your devotions or tomorrow morning, whenever you do those, read Psalm 69 and think about Jesus' life. You'll see wine vinegar make an appearance in there, and that's something that we talked about last week. So, hear the word from John chapter 2, and when you listen to this and when you hear the psalm, think about how do we trust God with our own life? How do we trust him completely? And what is getting in the way of that trust? How do we worship God? And what are the obstacles? What are the things, the tables in our minds and in our hearts that Jesus wants to overturn and clear out that are standing between us and a God that wants to know us? Hear the word of the Lord. John chapter 2, verses 13 through 22. The Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. He found in the temple those who sold oxen, sheep, and doves, and the changers of money sitting. He made a whip of cords and threw all out of the temple, both the sheep and the oxen, and he poured out the changers' money and overthrew their tables. To those who sold the doves, he said, "Take these things out of here. Don't make my Father's house a marketplace." His disciples remembered that it was written, "Zeal for your house will eat me up." Psalm 69, verse 9. The Jews therefore answered him, "What sign do you show us, seeing that you do these things?" Jesus answered them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." The Jews therefore said, "It took 46 years to build this temple. Will you raise it up in 3 days?" But he spoke of the temple of his body. When therefore he was raised from the dead, his disciples remembered that he said this, and they believed the scripture and the word which Jesus had said. All right, thank you for joining us on another edition of the Evening Quail. Now, I know we missed an episode last week. Might try to make that episode up, but I'm not going to make any promises. I will promise that I will do my best. Okay, well, next time we will be talking about John chapter 3. I do believe that is in my plans. Yes. Okay. If you have any questions, if you want to write, if you want to reach out, please feel free to do so. And maybe your letter will get read on the air. We need some more quail mail coming in. Also, next week we should be getting another appearance from Bob White. Some more wisdom from him. So that's very exciting as well. Okay. Take care. Thanks for joining us on the Evening Quail.